Many hellos, you're tuned in to the Rewind Guys podcast, your favorite movie review show, and I'm your host, Patrick Andrews. Guys, I want to say sorry for the long gap in between the last featurette and this one, where the crew and I are going to talk about movies that we love and some that we grew up on. Setting up for Season 2 has been a little bit more demanding and taxing than I thought it was going to be, so to make sure that we stay on track and that I can get things together on time, I decided to kind of use my editing time for other things. But don't worry, things are coming along great, things are looking great, and actually, in most cases, things are a lot better than expected. So I'm hoping that Season 2 really does bring what I was expecting it to bring. And I think it's going to do that and then some. So without any further ado, let the featurette begin.
Quite a good scene, isn't it? One man crazy, three very sane spectators.
If you're listening to this episode, odds are you know us a little bit by now. But let's face it, you don't know us. Hell, I don't even know you guys. We talk about movies, but let's face it, I really don't know what movies you like or grew up on. And same goes for Rusel and Isiah. So now you guys know I was talking to Mike. So all right.
What?
It makes good podcasting when I'm pointing and not saying who I'm pointing at.
You want to just roll that back, reset, rewind it?
Sure. Okay. Let's try this again. I don't even know what I said, but I'll try and ring it a second time here. Okay. Oh my God, I hate you guys. If you're listening, no, it's not okay. If you're listening to this episode, odds are you know us a little bit by now. But if not, we're gonna get a little deeper. Because let's face it, I don't even know these jokers. I don't know what movies they like. I don't know what movies they grew up on. So we're going to learn a little bit. And I'm going to put everybody on the spot because that's the best way to learn about people is by putting them on the spot with generalized questions.
You've already done that to Mike. And you ruined the note the fuck out.
How do you not know what Russell grew up on?
I don't. And so, furthermore, he said something recently which actually sparked my interest in wanting to know more about you guys' movies because, like, he said something about watching Empire Records, which, oh my God, does not strike me a Russell's movie at all.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like, the name I use on the internet comes from Empire Records.
Yeah, well, no, and I get that now, but I had no idea. First of all, I know Russell as a movie-hating son of a bitch. But, so when he says stuff about movies, especially like almost like teenage movies, I'm just like blown away because that's not Russell's style.
I was never a teenager in my life.
Yes, you apparently in my eyes you haven't been. So we're going to learn a little bit more about the movies we like and stuff like that. And don't feel too bad about these questions because, you know, being put on the spot
answers
sucks.
are wrong.
Yeah, you guys' answers are all wrong no matter what you say. No, being put on the spot sucks. But that's the best way to get to know one another. This is, by the way, is coming from the guy that if I'm standing in line and they ask me for like my phone number or something, I just draw a blank instantly. I hate that shit.
Oh my
It's like,
God.
nope.
They're like, "What's your area code?" And I'm like, and I'll give a zip code or something stupid. Oh my
guy standing in
God.
line just going, it's a guy, fucking move.
Yes.
Would you like your milk in a bag? Oh my God, nobody's ever asked me that before.
No.
I usually put it in a cup.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to ask a question. And I'm going to point to one of you guys randomly, and then I'll answer some questions too. Don't worry, because I don't even know how I'm going to answer most of these. So Isiah.
Oh.
Starting off strong.
Yeah, I'm going to ask this too because here's the thing, especially for those of you listening, if you've heard this episode, you might already know his answer. I think I already know your answer, but I'm going to ask this anyway.
Is this going to be like that stupid mistake of a question because you're asking me about my favorite movie?
Yes. What is your favorite movie?
Okay.
Ooh,
Hold up.
Ooh.
Hold
He's
up.
stumped.
Nope.
I didn't think this was going to happen.
Nope. Okay. Out of movies we've picked so far that we watched, hold up, that we watched between everybody that's picked, even though I've liked the movies that we've watched, some of the movies we watched and disliked them, Escanaba and Moonlight is like my favorite movie out of everything we've watched. Just because no matter how many times I watch it, I still love it. But favorite movie-wise, I can't just like pick one in general. It's more or less basically like the Batman films.
Okay.
And I'm like the Tim Burton Batman films, the Christopher Nolan Batman films. Like I can't just pick one out of them because it's just generally them. I love to watch them because they're really good. And then there was another set of movies I bought, and out of all of those Batman films, Under the Red Hood actually would have been one of my more favorite Batman movies.
I've never even heard of that one.
That means I'm picking that movie because I love that movie. It's actually it creates a really good narrative and more depth to the Batman universe, and I love it.
Interesting.
I might not be one of my picks because now it's just like Patrick needs to see this.
I've also never heard of or seen it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Nope.
That's a pick.
Let's keep the same question, and we're gonna roll over to Russell, the lover of all movies. What is your favorite movie?
is it Empire Records?
movie. I don't really know what my favorite movie is. I've had favorite movies over my history.
Just pick a favorite. Let's give us an idea here.
You know, in my teenage years, my favorite movie was probably, this is going to be really embarrassing,
Oh my God.
was probably Grandma's Boy.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Just because, I mean, it would have to have been my favorite movie because it was like the only movie that I actually watched back to back.
Okay.
Like I watched it.
Like on common rotation.
But no, I mean, like I watched it once and then I just played it again. Right when it was finished and watched it again.
I don't think I've done that with any movie.
I still
That's
quote
a good
that movie almost
that is a
daily.
very quotable movie.
But I
very
feel
quotable.
like now, you know, some time has passed. I feel like that probably would not be my favorite movie today.
Okay.
After that, I think a favorite movie of mine would have been Jackie Chan's The Legend of the Drunken Master.
Ooh.
Just because I
I've
love Jackie
seen that
Chan.
whole once, but that was a great movie.
It's such a good movie.
I've never seen it. Yeah, nope.
And then as of recently, a movie that I really like that I've watched is probably The Seventh Seal.
Never seen it. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
It's, I want to say, from the 50s, maybe?
Interesting. Oh, yeah, I think you told me about this before now that I think about it. All right, Mike, what is your favorite movie?
I got 2 words for you.
Uh-oh.
Ooga booga.
You know, how did I not see that coming from somebody? Man.
No, so if we're talking like through the ages, as a kid, Jurassic Park was by far my favorite movie.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I loved it. I watched it a million times. I probably watched it every day. I watched it till my VHS tape died.
Oof. That's
As a teenager, Hot Fuzz, by far my favorite movie.
That's a good one.
And recently, I honestly can't even think of a movie I've watched in like the past 10 years that I really enjoyed that I'd say was my favorite movie. Hot Fuzz is still, I guess, just my favorite movie.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
I kind of am on board with all you guys. Like, obviously, you can't really choose like one per se that's better than like all the rest, but one that I have seen more than every other movie, and you can expect to see it at some point, is The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh.
That is such an underrated Disney movie.
I
Love
don't
that
find
movie.
that. Well, I mean, it could be underrated, but that's a great movie.
It is. Thank
Everybody
you.
loves that movie.
Yes, but the funny part is not everybody knows it. They should know it.
That's
I think-
a good movie.
I will agree. I think it was underrated in its time.
Yes.
I think it's definitely.
Crunk.
Can you really say it's an underrated movie if they made a sequel and a TV series?
Yeah, because I don't think that the sequel and TV series did as well. I think they're kind of flops.
also
I
think-
don't know that for sure, but
It gained popularity after its release.
I mean, I could totally see that, but I think whenever you talk Disney movies, first of all, there are a lot of Disney movies that don't get enough attention. And I do want to bring some of those up maybe in season 2 here, but yeah, that is one movie I can watch. I'm not sick of it. I've seen it so many times and it always cracks me up. The comedy's amazing, and it's just, I don't know, man. I just love that movie. All right, let's go on the other end of the spectrum here. Let's talk about least favorite. I don't know if I necessarily have one. I'm sure I must somewhere in my brain.
I can't think of one off the top of my head that we haven't just watched recently.
That's true. That's very true.
Yes. Yeah. I guess it's pretty good. Man, it sucks so bad because I feel like I started watching a movie not that long ago, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do that. I shut it off. And it's rare that I start a movie and won't finish it, and I can't think of what the hell it was.
Oh, okay. I have a movie.
What do you got?
that it came out. I don't remember when. It was a long time ago, and there was a lot of talking about it, and that kind of happened where I watched maybe 10 minutes of it, and I just couldn't go. I just couldn't do it anymore.
What is it?
It's called. Oh my God, what's it called? It's Adam Sandler movie.
Oh,
if that gives it away.
Oh my God. Oh,
What's the name? You know what I'm talking about.
Don't mess with the Zohan or Zohan or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck that movie.
That movie.
Seen only like bits and pieces of it, but never the whole movie. I have not.
You know what? I am gonna climb aboard this train. Yes. I don't know what I was thinking that I was getting into, but me and Angela started this movie. We got, no joke, less than 10 minutes in, and couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Could not do it.
So I mean, it's kind of unfair to say that it's my least favorite or my least likable movie because I actually didn't watch it. So how do I really know? But
that's true.
I think just from the idea that I couldn't watch it makes me feel like it's got to be a bad movie.
I'm also concerned to say any movie at this point because it's going to get picked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like don't mess with the Zohan, or it has to be picked now so that
Damn
we can
it.
really talk about it.
No, please, come on, man.
We haven't done an Adam Sandler movie
I
yet.
also want to
excruciating.
point out when that movie was in theaters and there was ads airing for it. I remember watching one on TV and going, "That's fucking stupid as shit."
Yes.
And that was the last I remember of it.
I thought the
And
same
now
thing.
you love it.
And I don't even.
Yeah, I've never seen it, so I guess we can put that as my least favorite too.
And it's weird because like I remember having that same thought with the stupid trailers, and I don't know why we decided to try and watch it. I think because I must have heard somebody say it was actually really funny or something like that. So yeah, we tried, and yeah, dude, I swear, less than 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes.
You know, when you get put on the spot for questions, you just start drawing a blank, and it's like my whole life is gone. I don't remember anything.
Right?
Yeah, I told you.
Like, I can't think of a single movie I've watched like I didn't like.
Okay. I think I don't necessarily like this question per se.
Okay, don't ask it.
No, I want to. I want to ask it because I think it's an interesting question. Because the question is,
Are you gonna get your feelings hurt, Patrick?
probably. But the question is,
Who's your daddy?
your biggest guilty. No, your biggest guilty pleasure movie. But here's the thing: like, I think that if you like it, it's unfair to say it's a guilty pleasure. I mean,
Well, I mean, kind of.
because, like, obviously, right off the bat, I could definitely say Suburban Commando, maybe?
Yeah.
I love that movie, but here's the thing. Other than that, two that come to the top of my head that I would label as guilty pleasure, but I have no shame in this, is, oh, shit, of course, now I'm going to draw a blank, is Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion. Love that movie. And Josie and the Pussycats. Those movies are good. I'm sorry. They cracked me up. I love those movies.
I don't think I've seen either of them.
I might have to pick one of those, if not both of those, in the next season. Because I'm telling you what. Okay, here's the thing: Romeo and Michelle, I've seen semi recently and still like it, but I haven't seen Josie and the Pussycats in a while. So maybe that one still doesn't hold up. But I will say those. If I had to put a guilty pleasure tag on something, maybe those ones. But yeah, I'm sorry. If you like a movie, I don't think there should be any guilt in it. Just saying.
I honestly can't think of any movies that would fall in that guilty pleasure category.
Polar?
Maybe like
I can think of a lot of pornography that would fall under that.
I think this is where Ooga Booga might resurface with Isiah. That's his guilty pleasure.
Granted, I could watch that again. But honestly, I do have one to a degree. Was the 2 live-action Scooby-Doo movies.
Oh, I just watched those
They're
within the
not
last week.
bad movies, but like going back watch them now, I can see how it's a problem. But like now, people, it's like no one really likes them. And they were liked, but at the same time, I think it was more disliked than liked. But if they were playing, I would sit down and watch them. If someone brought it up, say, "Hey, want to watch this?" Shit, I'm down. I'll sit down and watch them. I have no problem watching because I actually enjoyed watching them both.
I saw the first Scooby-Doo live action movie in theaters.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I remember everyone saying like, "Oh, that was shit." I was like, it wasn't that fucking bad.
No,
Like,
yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I just watched both of them within the past 4 days, and they are still actually kind of funny. And here's the thing: I'm not saying like they're like amazing; they are entertaining. But the one thing I think is really weird, and again, I don't know when this came out. I didn't do research. I don't really give a shit. But I was really kind of wondering why they made Scooby-Doo the way they did in the first one, because there's no shading to that character.
No.
He is one solid color wherever he went all the time.
But I mean, it's
It
kind
was
of an
so
older
weird.
movie.
No, exactly. It is an older movie.
So
And here's
CG
the thing.
and cost.
It's also forgivable because it's a cartoon movie that I think they just doubled down on the cartoon and they get away with it.
I was just saying, I think they wanted him to have that cartoony aspect to it.
Right, yeah. And that's the thing. I think they knew that they couldn't make it realistic. So yeah, they just kind of doubled down on the fact that it's a cartoon. Let's just roll with it. And dude, they're funny. I'm sorry.
Plus,
they're good
if
movies.
you look at the recent Lion King remake.
The live action one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I own it. I haven't seen it.
So people didn't like it because they went full realism kind of on the animals.
Yes.
And animals can't do facial expressions. They can't portray like a true emotion like a cartoon character's face could or a more human face could.
Okay.
So if they had made Scooby look just like a regular dog, it would have none of his jokes or anything would have worked.
Wait, so are you saying in the Lion King remake that they didn't give them emotions or they did?
They just failed at it.
Okay.
Lion King is like they gave them emotion, but you didn't see the emotion because they're supposed to be animals. Animals don't convey it.
So
through facial
they
features.
tried to go more on the realistic side of it.
Yeah.
And
it's
people
like
hated it for that?
Yeah. Well, it's because they have no real facial expressions. They're animals.
Yeah, but it seems like that'd be kind of like it's defense.
I thought it looked good, but I don't know.
Damn, now I gotta watch it.
I will say this though, from the Scooby-Doo movies, the guy, I can't remember his name at the moment, who played Shaggy in those movies.
Matthew Lillard. Yeah.
Yes. I actually plan on picking a movie that he's in. I will not say what movie, but I plan on picking a movie that he's actually in.
It can't be one of two that is in my head right now. I don't want it to be Scream. I don't like his character in Scream. And I don't want it to be 13 Ghosts. 13th Ghost? What the hell is it? I hate that
13
movie.
I'm not
Ghosts.
telling you because I'm going to ruin
I
it.
hate that movie. I hate that movie.
Look at your
so
face. It's
much.
13 Ghosts.
Wait,
Damn
I
it.
tell you.
13 go. Is that the one in the glass house?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it as a kid, which I probably
too.
should not have been watching it as a kid. And I mean, at the time,
Yeah.
10 years old or whatever, I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Right?
But, I don't know now.
No,
I don't remember.
I actually liked the concept of that. I liked the ghost design.
Oh.
I don't think the movie was that well done, but overall it's enjoyable.
I'm not gonna lie,
Concept.
if they remade that movie and did it the way it probably should be done,
Yes.
it'd be a lot better movie.
If they took the comedy off and really brought the horror, I think that would have been awesome. But man, they tried to put comedy in, which I think failed. I did not like the comedy in it, and that's why Matthew Lillard was in it, because he just kind of brings like that kind of energy pretty much wherever he goes. But yeah, I do not
There
like
was
that
a few
movie.
ghosts I really liked in that, like the one who was pulling the railroad spikes out of himself. And
Yeah.
grabbing people. That one was really cool.
No, don't get me wrong. It had good like parts or aspects or whatever, but like the movie itself, and if you pick that one, I would be interested to watch it because I do want to see what it looks like now, seeing it like so many years later. But I just remember not liking that movie at all.
So before I get into my guilty pleasure movie,
Which we already know is Empire Records. Okay.
no, I have to say quickly on Scooby-Doo, I think the guy who played Shaggy, like, you could never get anybody to play Shaggy better than that.
People were pissed off with the new animated Scooby-Doo because Will Forte or something like that, they got him to do Shaggy's voice, and it's not bad.
With Casey Kasem gone, literally Matt Lillard is like, I feel like is one of the best ones to pick up the voice.
No, him and Linda, I don't know her last name, like Cardellini or whatever, the girl from Grandma's Boy, the love interest,
Yes.
executive woman.
Oh, man.
She makes a great Velma.
She makes a great woman.
I mean, I don't
a great
know.
woman.
Freddie Prinze Jr. as Fred, I could give or take. That doesn't really bother me either way. And
Wait,
same
his
with
real name is Fred.
Oh,
Freddie
yeah.
Prinze Jr.
And he plays Fred.
Yeah,
Wow.
I did not put those very obvious pieces together at all.
Like, that's got to be great when that happens, because like when you're acting and somebody says your name in the movie, like
Yeah.
you naturally respond to it.
Yeah, and then I think is it Sarah Michelle Gellar that played Daphne? I think it is.
I don't know, people.
I
names.
think so.
Again, that's another one that I could have taken or leaving. It doesn't really matter. But
Anyway,
yes, your guilty
the
pleasure, sir.
Guilty pleasure. This is a movie I almost hate to admit that I love, and I just can't stop loving it. I just can't. Stop.
Ooh.
Mean Girls.
How did I not know
I've
this?
seen it like a whole whopping twice, I believe.
Again, but I don't think there should
That's
be a
not-
guilty pleasure. It's a good movie.
It's not a bad
It's
movie.
like a teenage girls movie.
It is. It is.
I was going
It's
to say,
got layers,
if I
sir.
had a guilty pleasure, it would have been teenage girl movies like that, because I have a sister who watched them all the time. So I just sit down and watch them with her. Like Clueless and Mean Girls
Oh,
and
yeah,
all those.
yeah.
Those would definitely fall in like the guilty pleasure category for me too.
Interesting.
It's just, it's like,
It's not a bad
I'm
movie.
going to watch it. I'm going to love it. I'm not, a 15-year-old girl, but it's still funny.
I ain't
Yeah.
gonna fault you for that shit. That's not a bad movie.
Probably gonna pick it one day. Gotta watch it. Fair.
This is really interesting.
You
See,
should pick like the sequel and see if it holds up.
Oh
They
no!
did make a sequel,
I
it's
saw the
right.
sequel. It's bad.
Really?
It's bad.
I forgot they made a sequel. That's so funny.
I didn't know they did, to be honest.
Interesting.
It's so bad.
But see, I just want to say, look how much we're learning about each other. Because Mike, I mean, like, okay, we all know I was like the 80s, 90s guy. Mike, you just kind of like a bunch of random stuff. Russell, you hated movies, and Isiah likes bears. And look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff we're learning today. This is so good.
Yeah, I guess if you
Where did all those questions did we get that I like bears? Or we just jumped back to Guardians?
yeah. If you just listen to the podcast only and try to learn about us, that's what you get.
Yeah.
He likes bears. You like random stuff. I hate everything.
80s,
Patrick
90s.
likes just really lame shit.
Oh, man.
He said that. He said 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
Oh,
lame.
man.
I'm from the 90s. I am lame shit.
Oh man. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's wrap things up with this. Let's go with, obviously, let's talk more of like a real generalized kind of whatever. Let's say it's you have friends over, you have family over. I don't know. It's late at night. You're getting ready for bed. You're gonna watch a movie, or it's movie night. And I know that, Russell, none of this pertains to you because you don't do
Right.
this. You hate movies.
I hate movie night.
But like, if you were to just like, I'm gonna put on a movie. What are the genres you gravitate to most? Like, what are you looking for? And we'll start with Mike. You're gonna put on a movie. What are you looking for?
I generally almost always go action movies,
Okay.
like because I'm super basic bitch. If I'm gonna just toss a random movie on, I'll toss a Marvel movie or something on, just because I actually really enjoyed them because I hadn't seen anything except the original Iron Man when they were half of them were already out.
Okay.
I just decided I'm going to watch all these in order. So I started watching all of them in order. And by the time I got through most of them, the other half had come out. So I watched everything in order as it went. And it made it a better experience.
Interesting.
So I always toss those on because I've seen them all. Just toss them on in the background.
All right. Fair enough. Russell,
Did you have Disney Plus?
Do not.
who doesn't? Well, oh, what?
Mike,
I don't. My
I'm
girlfriend,
surprised by the shock here.
you poor
I
baby.
don't.
Oh my
my
God.
girlfriend has it from her uncle, so
Listeners, for only 15 cents a day.
That's less than the price of a cup of coffee.
Yes, we can get Mike Disney Plus.
Is there that much to watch on Disney Plus? I know Disney has a big catalog, but
Yeah, actually, they do got a lot of stuff. I mean, I think it's worth it.
they're taking all their stuff from like
what's funny is
Netflix and Hulu.
I have Hulu, so it's like $2 more a month to upgrade it to Disney Plus.
Well, and the thing is, like now, of course, that they have Disney Plus, they're trying to like really crank out all the originals and shit.
15 cents a day.
Only 15
All right.
a day.
Russell, this question to you, I think, kind of intrigues me the most because you don't like movies. But if you're going to pick one, what are you going for?
I have a lot of very specific things that I look for in a movie, and so when I do, this is my biggest problem. When I'm in the mood for a movie, sometimes I'll spend the time that I normally would have allotted for the movie looking for the movie.
Oh my God,
So
yes.
then I just
Yes.
say, well, I don't have time to watch the movie now, so I guess I'm just done.
You're just one of those people. Oh my God. I know
can
how
go-
that goes.
yeah.
You watch more trailers than anything, and then it's like, that's your time. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. But specific genres or plot points that I look for in a movie are I like movies about space.
Okay.
Oddly, and I mean this in the most heterosexual way, I like movies that take place in prison with inmates.
When you drop
Yes.
the soap.
Space prison.
Space prison.
Oh my God.
Space
yes.
prison. I like movies that are like really psychological, like the killing of a sacred deer and stuff like that.
You just like movies that fuck with people, don't
Jackie
you?
Chan movies. I don't know. Some comedies are really good, but some comedies are also absolutely awful.
Huh.
So I guess those style like post-apocalyptic,
Yeah.
dystopian, very those kinds of things.
Oh, yeah, no.
I dislike movies that have a happy ending. I think
Like
it's,
all
I think
movies?
it's I think it's really cheap when a movie has a happy ending.
Yeah, I could see that.
Most happy endings do feel very forced.
I want to root for someone, and then I want to watch them fail. I want to watch them die.
Have
I
you
want to watch their
heard-
family burn.
I don't care.
There's a
and I
lovely
wanna-
show called Game of Thrones.
No, I'm actually I haven't. No, I've heard of it, but I've never watched any of it.
You would, if that's your goal in watching stuff, you would love it.
I don't care if movies have a happy ending, if it has a natural flow to the story. If it's forced and they're bending shit to make it work, no, that's stupid. I hate that because they're just trying to give you that happy ending everybody's looking for.
I can go either way.
I mean, I'm looking for a happy ending, but not in a movie.
All right. Isiah.
Generally, if I'm watching movies, I pick something that I already have. But if I'm just looking for something to look for something or something I haven't watched, I usually just browse through and look at descriptions of movies. If the description sounds good, then fuck it, I'm putting it on. But other than that, I don't generally have anything I just generally gravitate to. It's just, like I said, my movie choices are all based off the description. If it sounds good, I'm watching it. But don't, we're moving on.
Fair enough. All right. I think my deal is I like movies that give you the feels. One of my favorite movies is The Road with, what's his name? Like Viggo Mortensen? I don't know. Viggo, no, what's his last name? Anybody?
I don't know, but that's
Damn it.
the movie with the guy and his son, right?
Yes!
Yeah, that movie is really
love that
quite
movie.
good.
Have you seen Coco?
The animated movie?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one.
That has some feels in it.
Yes, I love
haven't
movies.
seen either of those.
That has intense feels that made my head hurt. I was like out of crying so much. That movie hurt.
Movies that give you the feels, or another one that I gravitate to are like buddy comedies. Love buddy comedies. I like I Love You Man or Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead. All those buddy comedies are like the best.
What
Love
about
those
like
ones.
the stupid buddy comedies like Step Brothers?
Yeah,
Dumb
you
and
know,
Dumber.
yes.
Oh,
Here's the
Dumb
thing,
and
like
Dumber.
I never used to love like really, really dumb humor like that, but man, I can't get enough of that now. I'm like it all stemmed from Zoolander. I think when I very
I
first
haven't
watched that
seen
movie.
that in a minute. Jesus Christ.
I watched that movie the first time, like this movie is the dumbest fucking movie I've ever seen. And then it's cancerous. It grows on you. And then like all of a sudden you find yourself watching all these other dumb movies. And it's just, I think it really just opened up my humor. It made my spectrum of humor much larger.
Oh, so you were a dry sponge, unable to absorb things.
Apparently, yes, I think so. But, and actually that's not, I don't think it was Zoolander actually. It's probably Dumb and Dumber because that came out way before Zoolander, I think.
It took one nice drop of water to open up your pores.
It did. But yeah, so my thing is I love movies that give you the feels or buddy comedies because you're right back to they're feel good movies, you know? I either want to cry or laugh, I guess, apparently. So yeah, so that's what you're getting from me.
That brings us to the end of this week's episode, you guys. Thanks so much for listening in. But you know what? You can do more than just listen. You can let us know what movies you grew up with and movies that you love by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Rewind Guys Pod. That's REWGUYSPOD, or email us at REWGUYSPOD@gmail.com. And who knows, it might even get mentioned on a future show. Now I'm going to try my best to make sure I pump out one more featurette, but depending on how things go during production, I might not get to it, so don't hold me up to it. I will try my best, but if not, we will see you guys September 2nd for the whole new season. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, be excellent to each other.